Hi there, this is Love Johar. Thank you so much for tuning into this channel and thank you so much for watching this video. In this video, we will try to understand what are the different questions that you can ask an organization to understand their ITGC posture, to understand whether the ITGC controls have been implemented properly or not within an organization. You can ask these questions during your interview, or you can ask these questions during your audit, depending upon your needs. So these questions are very important if anybody is trying to do ITGC audit. So please go through them with me, along with me in this video, so that we can understand their relevance. So as you can see, the first set of questions are regarding the user access management for access controls domain. Here you have to check how are the user accounts created, modified, and deactivated. Who all can do that? What are the roles and responsibilities? How is user access reviewed and approved? How are terminated employees' access rights revoked? So here you have to answer all these questions. Okay. You need to also have user access management policy. If you have access management policy, that is also good, where you can add all these questions as part of the policy or the process, where you can answer them along with the roles and responsibilities. Next comes the logical access control. Here you have to describe the process for granting access to sensitive data. You have to show which type of data is sensitive. You have to do data classification. Here you have to show how are strong authentication methods enforced within the organization, how often are password policies enforced. Here you might have to consider, the password policy in place. You have to make sure that all these questions are answered. Here, you can ask in terms of segregation of duties. How do you ensure the conflicting duties are separated? Are there any automated controls in place to prevent access conflict? Here, you need to check if there is any, measures in order to make sure that a same person does not have conflicting rights and permissions. Here, you can check that. After that, you have change management questions, change management related questions. You can ask how are the changes managed, what is the process for change management, how are emergency changes handled. This is very important. After that, testing of changes. Describe the testing process for system changes. How are the changes reviewed and tested before deployment? How are the changes documented and tracked? So this all you can check for change management. After that comes incident management. Again, very important part. How are security incidents detected and reported? What is the process? Here you should look for policy, incident response plan, and policy in place. Here you need to ask about what are the root cause and analysis. How are they addressed? What are the measures taken to prevent similar incidents in the future? So you need an incident management plan, particularly in this case. And if there is any forensic analysis needed, then how is the evidence preserved in that case? You need to check that as well. After that comes backup and recovery domain. As you can see, we are walking through all the different domains of ITGC basically and asking all the relevant questions. This is very important for beginners who are trying to get into the ITGC audit, and this can serve as a checklist for yourself in order to make sure that you cover all these questions in your audit. Okay, and I hope you get the idea. And this is for data backup procedures, disaster recovery planning. Then you have physical security, where you have data center access controls, environmental controls. Similarly, you have all the questions for that. Similarly, you have policies and procedures, where you check for IT governance structure, information security policies, and compliance with the standards. So I hope these set of questions serve you well, and especially for the beginners who want to understand more about ITGC and how it works. So I think these questions will give you a head start in the process. And this is not a comprehensive set of questions, audit questions, or interview questions, but this is, of course, a starting point for you. More questions you can, of course, will depend upon the ITGC scope of audit, as well as a number of different parameters. But of course, this is a good starting point for all of you out there who are trying to learn about ITGC. So I hope you get this video useful, and please like and subscribe to this channel. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask in the